Alright, so we're going to review some things you know about the coordinate plane and lines. So this is section 3.6 of our book. And so we have three forms they can be: slope-intercept, standard, and then point-slope. Point-slope is the most versatile. Slope-intercept we use a lot. Standard we don't use as much. And so they are all given to you down here at the bottom. We can see the three here. This one looks most familiar. The slope, right, and b is my y-intercept. So if we want to graph something like this, we identify the slope as -2/3, which is my rise or my run. And so I also have my y-intercept, which is where I cross the y-axis. So I'm going to plot that point, and then I'm going to use my slope. I'm going to rise -2, I'm going to run 3, and I'm going to connect the dots, which gives me my line. We also have standard form. A, B, and C are said to be real numbers, and they're not both 0 for A and B. Otherwise we just get 0 equals C. And so we can have something in standard form. We have to do a little bit of manipulation with this before we can get it into something that's more usable. But if we set it equal to y and divide by -2 on everything, I get y equals 3/2 x minus 3, and this is now in my point slope form. I'm sorry, my slope-intercept form. So I can identify the slope as 3/2, and the y-intercept is -3. I can plot those again. There's my y-intercept, there's my slope, up 3 over 2, and then I connect the dots, which gives me my line. Alright, in terms of point slope, again, this one is actually the most versatile, because if we want to set to get y-intercept form, we just let this x value equal 0. But what we have here is m is again slope, and x1 and y1 are 1 point on our line. So looking at what we have down below, -2 is my slope, and my point is, this is where you have to be careful, it has to be exactly as it's written up here, where I have a minus and I have a minus. I have a minus here, but I have a plus there. So to make this work, that's going to be my -1, and that's going to be my 1. Alright, now I have the slope and a point. I can graph it. There's -1, 1. I go down 2 and over 1, and that gives me my, my line. Alright, we also have the ability to talk about horizontal and vertical lines. Horizontal lines will always have an equation of y equals b, where b is the y-intercept. And the vertical lines will be x equals something. In this case, x equals c, where c is the x-intercept. So we would have the ability with this to, if I had something like y equals 6, right, that would be horizontal. I would have up at 6 my y-intercept, and it would go through like that. So that would allow me to graph a horizontal line. X equals is just going to be my vertical line. Alright, we can also take things and write them in standard form by getting all the variables to one side and getting our numbers on the other side. So if I do that, alright, and we can do some manipulation. If I multiply by 3, this gets me my -x plus 3y equals -12. And now for the next one, I'm given 2 points. I calculate my slope as you've done before, and I get x or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 gives me my slope of 2 over -6, which is -1/3. And then I use one of my points. Doesn't matter which one I pick. I'm going to pick the point A, so y is 3, x is 2, and I plug in my values, and that gives me my equation of the line.